This season, so far to say the least, has not gone as planned for the Philadelphia 76ers, though one of the few bright spots has been Guerschon Yabusele. Signed to a 1 year deal after a strong showing for the French national team in the most recent Olympics, Yabusele has emerged as a key player in the Sixers' rotation and has shown skills that will allow him to carve out a long term NBA role. I'm going to take a deeper dive in his game to show how he's been contributing on both ends of the floor. Yabusele was originally selected 16th overall by the Boston Celtics in the 2016 draft, but didn't come over to play in the NBA until the 2017-18 season. Joining a deep Celtics team, he saw just under 7 minutes a game in 74 regular season contests across 2 seasons before being waived. Yabusele's basketball journey then took him to China and France, which was followed by playing a few years for Real Madrid before catching on with the Sixers. Listed at 6'8 and 265 pounds, Yabusele entered the NBA with the nickname the Dancing Bear, though it makes sense, as he's nimble with the ball in his hands for a player his size. One way he can take advantage of this is by attacking closeouts and getting downhill, though one reason for this is his improvement as a three-point shooter, as he shot 39% from deep on the season and is dangerous off the catch. Here, Tyrese Maxey quickly gets downhill out of pick and roll and passes it to Kyle Lowry, who hits Yabusele in the right corner. Though you'd think Anthony Davis right there to close out would blow up a potential shot. That wasn't the case here, as Yabusele drives baseline, then rotates to back Davis down and creates some space to convert the layup with his offhand. Ricky counts on this possession, gets in the paint before kicking it out to Guerschon in the right corner, though again, he's limited space this time against Jonathan Kuminga. This is where Yabusele's frame comes into play. He decisively gets downhill and uses his body to lean into his defender and create some space. That worked, but as his defender goes to contest and put an arm up, Yabusele does a nice job getting under it and finishes the drive with a layup. While the Sixers don't push the pace and play in transition often, Yabusele's very efficient when doing so. He ranks in the 98th percentile on a per possession basis, as he can get downhill off the dribble, run the floor, and also knock down threes when doing so. The Frenchman is also heavily utilized as a roll man out of pick and roll, where he's been above league average as he's a threat to score out of pick and pop, while also being able to score around the basket. Tyrese Maxey gets downhill here and kicks it out to Yabu in the left corner, though instead of taking the three, attacks the Wendell Carter closeout. As he gets downhill, he realizes there's nothing there and kicks it out to Maxey on the left wing. However, Yabusele does come back to the ball and sets a very quick ghost screen on Jalen Suggs before popping out to the left slot. Maxey then finds him, and Yabusele takes Goga Batase off the dribble and finishes at the rim for 2 points. Yabu has also gotten to showcase some passing ability within the Sixers offense, averaging nearly 2 assists a game. The one thing that stood out to me is when given the chance, he's very good at finding cutters, which serves him well operating out of the short roll. Tyrese Maxey starts this by running pick and roll with Yabusele as the screener. Though as Maxey's pass is already on the way to Eric Gordon, you can see Yabu start rolling towards the basket. Though with Maxey still having two defenders on him, this creates a potential advantage. Gordon receives the ball, and you see immediately he wants to get it to Yabusele, and after the catch, it's essentially 2-on-1, as Keegan Murray is in front of the ball, but Kelly Oubre is cutting from the right corner. Yabusele makes the bounce pass, and it leads to a quick dunk. Here, Kyle Lowry is operating high pick and roll with Yabusele as the screener, though instead of fully setting a screen, it's a slip screen where he quickly rolls towards the basket. Yabusele gets the ball around the free throw line with TJ McConnell switched on to him, but again, you can see a potential advantage forming. Obi Toppin is in the paint to stay in front of the ball, but you can see KJ Martin cutting from the right corner. Yabusele drops the bounce pass in between two defenders, and it again leads to an easy dunk. Given his nimble feet at his size and a reported 7'1 wingspan, Yabusele on paper has intriguing defensive versatility. This season, he's typically been asked to defend centers, but the 29-year-old also shows some nice flashes altering passing lanes or shots. DeJounte Murray is in pick and roll here, defended by Kelly Oubre, while Guerschon is defending the screener. As Murray uses a screen and gets downhill, Yabusele is now focused on the ball, though the screener is rolling towards the basket. This looks like a potential advantage for the Pelicans, and Murray throws the alley-oop. But Yabusele is stunting here, as he quickly recovers to his initial assignment and gets a hand on the lob to force a steal. In this instance, Bradley Beal is operating out of pick and roll, with Yabusele's initial assignment going to set the screen. This means he's going to get switched onto Beal, which on paper seems like a mismatch in the Suns' favor. Though as Beal turns the corner on the perimeter, Yabusele is right there with him. Even as Beal gets closer to the paint, Yabusele is on his hip. While there's nobody in front of Beal as he gets downhill and it looks like a clear path, Yabusele has other ideas as he jumps in front of Beal and blocks the layup. The good news for the Sixers is they found a quality role player in Yabusele on a 1 year deal. Now the question and possible bad news is if they'll be able to keep him. The best case for the Sixers would be that they can sign Yabusele this upcoming offseason for a 2 year minimum contract with a second-year player option. Then if he opts out after the first year, the team could pay him a larger deal. However, for the time being, the Sixers might only be limited to offering him the taxpayer mid-level exception. Though at the end of the day, this is really about Yabusele. After years away from the NBA and playing overseas, he has put himself in position to create a nice role for himself in the league. His mix of outside shooting, ability to put the ball on the floor to create for himself and others, and flashes defensively make him a very intriguing role player who could provide versatility. It isn't the typical path of how someone carves out an NBA role, but Yabusele has made the most of his opportunity. The Sixers are now just hoping they'll get the chance to have him in their rotation for the foreseeable future. If you made it this far, thank you. And if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my basketball analysis throughout the 2024-25 season.